Hey guys, today we're working one of my favorite aesthetics, the back attack, baby. So you can see the intricacies in the back. There's so many different muscles. You've got the rhomboids, the traps, but then you've got the mid traps and all of the interweaves, and the aesthetic comes from the completeness of it. So for me, and I get made fun of a lot for these, I like to use the hooks. Why? Because when it comes to working the back, any kind of pulling exercise, you have the limiting factors, these tiny little muscles in your fingers that are the size of the piece of yarn. So anytime you're doing shrugs or pulling exercise, oh, I can't do anyone, you can't even do one more, and you put it down. But it's not your back that reached the point of failure, it's your fingers. So I like to take those out of the equation. They're like $9, $10, I don't know, something like that. Get them on Amazon, wherever you want. But I'm telling you, day one, you're gonna have the back pump of your life. If you wanna unlock the results, and guess what? If you want a bigger chest, you gotta get a bigger back. The muscle likes to grow together. So, one of my favorite exercises for working the back is gonna focus on the mid trap. That V right in the middle below the traps. And when we're doing any kind of pulling exercise, whatever you're generating the momentum with, that is gonna drive the tension variable. What I mean is, if you have, for me, I have predominantly like bigger biceps. So as I do a pulling exercise, if I'm not focused, I'm gonna generate the momentum, and by the time my back gets involved, you're just not getting a lot of tension where you're targeting your growth. So this takes all of that out of the equation, and I take my fingers out of the equation, I take that synergistic dominance out of the equation, and I'm just gonna focus on that squeeze. An intelligent approach to sculpting the back. I'm just gonna squeeze that mid trap, and I'm gonna let the blood and nutrients fill and flood the muscle cell, and then it's gonna bloom and blossom, and you're gonna grow a beautiful aesthetic. It's not about how much weight you do, it's about how intelligently you lift. So, like every set, we're gonna start time under tension. You notice I'm not using my arms, I'm not bending my elbows yet. That's gonna be saved to the apex of exertion. I'm just squeezing that mid trap. See, I'm not even gripping the weights. Fingers are not a limited factor here. Just reaching the point of failure in that mid trap. And that's the last time under tension. So now I bring the biceps in. Like I said before. One more. Boom. And that is how you're gonna blow up that back and bring all that goodness out. Now when it comes to nutrients, you see I'm all about the drop sets. Always just start with something that's really challenging, and then I keep it going with whatever I can, because when we die on E. We leave it all on the line. You bust through the finish, collapse when you're done. One of the most studied nutrients of all time is creatine, duh. But there's a lot of different forms of creatine out there, and in my opinion, most of them are gimmicks. So you got your creatine monohydrate, it's the most widely studied. So what? It's a fraction of a penny per serving. Or you have your creatine hydrochloride. In my opinion, that is the creme de la creme for multiple reasons. One, you don't have to put very much of it in your body, which I love. I love bioavailability, and I love putting humble amounts, ethical amounts through my organs. Believe me, I want to be the healthiest 70-year-old, the healthiest 8-year-old, hopefully the healthiest 100-year-old. And so I'm very conscious about the forms and the amounts that I put in. I want to stay sensitive to these amounts, because every time I use them, I want to feel them, I want them to work. So creatine hydrochloride is amazing, because I don't even take a gram at a time. I take 0.725 grams, 725 milligrams, based on however you want to measure it. And the other thing is it allows all your striations to show. With the creatine monohydrate, you're going to get a lot of that water retention. And you're going to get that size, but you're not going to get that striation. What's the point of taking something that's going to unlock your aesthetic if you wash out your abs? With the creatine hydrochloride, you're able to keep all those striations and blow up that beautiful aesthetic and just I mean, that's what it's about. For me, I want the nice striated shoulders. I want the striated triceps. I want the definition of the biceps. I don't necessarily want the biggest, I want the most striation. And that's gonna come from the geometry. So the creatine hydrochloride, it's gonna help you get the growth reps you need to maximize your ROI in the gym. And it's gonna bring out that masculine aesthetic, those striations that are revealing your hard work. So creatine hydrochloride, and get you some hooks so that you can really blow up your back and ultimately blow up your aesthetic.